going on, guys? It is Bernardo, and today is all about a video request. Awesome. Haven't done one of these for a long time. It's all about installing SQL Server, getting that ready so you can install SCCM properly. So let's get right into it. All right. So video request, and it's from this guy right here. It's pretty funny. It made me laugh. I typically do not answer a lot of my comments. And this year, I kind of started doing it, getting back into it. And yeah, so it just made me laugh. I do appreciate the support. So I'm definitely add it to my to-do list, and I'm doing it right now. So on the desktop, I'm going to load up the server manager because this is the new server that I built for this video. The computer name is database. Pretty simple. It's already part of the domain. Yeah. So, and it's running Windows Server 2022 standard. I'm going to open up the File Explorer. I gave it a couple of partitions. I gave it a D drive. This is where I'm going to install the SQL application. And I gave it an L drive for the logs. I already mounted the ISO for the SQL Server 2022. It is the E drive. I'm going to right click on the E drive and I'm going to click on Open. We're going to right click on the setup.exe file. We're going to select Run as an administrator. You're going to get the user account control. So click on Yes, and it's going to start loading up the SQL Server 2022. And eventually you're going to get this. Beautiful. On the left-hand side, we're going to click on Installation, and we're going to click on New SQL Server Standalone Installation. So click on it. Again, it's going to start loading up, and you're going to get this. Beautiful. Enter your product key, and once you enter your product key, you have two options. I'm going to select I have an SQL Server license only. We're going to click on Next. You're going to check off I accept the license terms and the privacy statement. So check that off. Click on Next. Okay, so before I click on Next, it's going to fail because I'm doing everything within my Proxmox lab, and that's offline. So as soon as you click on Next, what's going to happen is it's going to go online and, do a couple of things. But for me, it failed because, again, my environment is offline. I have no internet access, but that's the reason why I have this. But for you, most likely you're not going to get that. For me, I got this, so I'm going to click Next, and it's going to start installing the setup files. Boom, I got a warning. It is the Firewall. So let's click on the warning. That's a hyperlink. Click on that, and you get this nice little dialog box. If your machine has internet access, you're able to click on the link, and it takes you to the website. I typed it in, and it basically gives you a rundown of the ports that you need to enable within your SQL Server. I believe it is 1433 and 1434. But I'm going to show you guys. So let's click OK. We're going to right-click on the Start menu, and we're going to select Windows PowerShell as an admin. You're going to get the user account control. We're going to click on Yes. And the first command that we're going to run is the following. New net firewall rule with a display name of the following. You're able to change it to whatever you want. But the article that, if you clicked on that link, the article actually gives you this command. The direction is going to be inbound. Local port is going to be 1433. Protocol is going to be a TCP, and the action is going to be allow. So hit enter. The last command is the following. And again, you're able to change the display. Direction is going to be an inbound. Local port is 1434. Protocol is not a TCP. This one is a UDP, and the action is going to be allow. So just hit enter, and you're done. Within the PowerShell command, just type in exit, hit enter to get out of it. You are able to click on rerun, but sometimes the rerun doesn't work properly. You could do a reboot if you want, or just close everything and rerun the setup file. For me, I got lucky. I clicked on the rerun button and everything passed, green check marks. Now you're able to click on next. For the Azure extension, I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to uncheck that and then click next here. For the feature selection, I am going to select and check off Database Engine Services. And for the directories, by default, it's going to drop it inside the C drive, but I am going to change C to D because I created a partition just for the database. And I'm going to click on Next. For the default instant, I am not going to change it, so I left it as is. I am going to click Next here. For the agent and the database engine, I have an Active Directory account that I am going to assign these two services. For the agent, I am going to assign it to SCCM.SQL, provide the password, and then change the startup type to automatic. For the database engine, I'm going to use the same account, give it the password, and make sure that the startup type is set to automatic. Before clicking on next, let's head over to the correlation tab and just make sure that the correlation is set to this. By default, it is. Just double check, make sure that it is set to that. Now click on next. Now for the database engine configuration, I like to set it to mixed mode and then provide a password and confirm the password. This allows me to have a system admin password to use in case something happens. And I am logged into the server as my user account. So I am going to click on add current user because then it allows me to, kind of monitor, configure, and use Management Studio as myself to manage the database. Now from here, we're going to click on the Data Directories tab. And I just like to make sure that it is pointing to the correct directory. It is the D drive. Great. We're going to head over to the Temp DB tab. And then from here, I just like to make sure that the data directory is set to D. And at the very bottom, the log directory is set to D, but I'm going to change it to L. Because again, I created a log partition just for logs only. And the last thing that I'm going to do is go into memory. Now for the memory, it is configured to default. I'm going to change it to recommended. And the min and the max is going to be the following. I'm going to give it 8 gigs for the min, and the max is going to be 16 gigs. Now, I believe for SCCM, the core requirement is 8 gigs. Don't go lower than that. So 8 gigs and whatever is your max on your server. For me, my max for my SQL Server is 16 gigs. If I had 32, it would be 8 gigs and 32. Or maybe if I wanted to play safe, maybe 8 gigs, 24. Before you click on next, make sure you check off, click here to accept the recommended memory configurations for the SQL Server database engine. So just give it a check mark. Now click on next. A nice little summary. Click on install. It's going to start gathering all the information and done. All green check marks, which is a good thing. So I headed to one of my workstations, and the workstation that I went into is PC02, and I launched my SQL Server Management Studio. Once that launched up, I typed in the server name, which was database. The encryption is optional, and I clicked on connect, and I was able to connect to the database. Now, the database is ready for you to start your installation for SCCM and point it to your new database. And that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.